Spa is one of those tracks that is just historic. You've got Eau Rouge, Radion, all the fantastic high speed sections. It's a track that everybody loves. It's also a track that is on the daily race in LMU this week. I'm hopping in the Lexus. I'm going to give this daily race a go. It is chaos. So let's see how we can do. To get started, I did want to do a bit of practice. So just to get ready for it, we've hopped in a quick 10-minute practice session, and I'll let you know what the quickest lap was, although it wasn't the greatest practice session of my life. As we really get towards the end of our final lap, before we start the race, it's a pretty disappointing one because we did go wide quite early on. So we are going to really gun it to the line and cross the line with a 2:28, which is incredibly disappointing, but we will move on. Moving on into quali, I really wanted to make sure I got out quickly because I wanted to make sure that I could get 2 laps in. You can really just about do it, but you really have to gun it and get out as soon as the session starts. Now as we approach the start-finish straight, you can see as long as we don't have a horrendously slow lap, we should make it. And we got to make sure we get good braking into the first corner. The slow speed, sort of first and second gear corners are the ones I really struggle with the most in this Lexus. I don't know what it is, I just tended to oversteer so much. If I got slightly too much rotation, it was very frustrating. We're going to head up our Rouge in 5th, a little bit of a lift, and then gun it, make sure we keep our eyes on the curb. That red and yellow curb is what you can use for track limits. And then push up into 6th, make sure we get as much speed. What we're going to do for braking here, we're going to wait till we hit the curb and we're going to drop down to 3rd, ease the car into the right and then power out on the left-hander, and then we're going to drop it and just ease it through again. Coming up to the big sort of hairpin turn, going to go down to 2nd, get better traction, push it straight back up and then down. Clearly a mistake, but whatever. Gun it out in 2nd, drop it back to 3rd, and then power through this exit. Coming into this corner, it's quite a fast one. We're going to want to drop down to 4th, use all of the track we possibly can, and then just power it through the final corner. Then we are going to drop back down to 3rd and really try to swing it through. The Lexus was phenomenal during these really sort of curved sections. Through the sort of twisty bits, it was so good. I felt so stable, I had so much confidence in the car that I did not really have in other cars that I've practiced. I tried in the Porsche, I tried in the Corvette was hideous here. There is just way too much cornering for it, especially in the slow speed. As you'll see, I did also go off, which was ridiculous, but we apparently kept us in track limits. We're going to swing around this corner really quick and then head towards bus stop. I couldn't really get my braking point for bus stop the whole day, but I think I was probably braking too early. As you can see, that little bit bus stop was one of those corners that I really could not nail. 10 seconds left on the clock. We're going to push through and we have crossed the line initially with a 2:26, which is not the worst, but we are on a final lap and we're on very low fuel. So let's see what we can do with the second lap. Joining back slightly later in the second lap, we're actually doing really well, nearly a second up, about a second up really, which would put us a couple of places up. We're in the real high speed section up to 1.2. We've taken slightly too much, we just didn't quite get on the track by the end of that curve, and it is so frustrating. 1.8 seconds up and we've just invalidated the lap, so I will join you on the grid. That is the end of our qualifying session. As we are on the grid holding position, you can see that quali session did put us up in 6th, which is really frustrating given the fact we messed up our final lap. We go green, and the main aim for me here is not to get crashed into because it's been such a chaotic race and Spa is always awful because of this first corner. So I take this corner really wide just to sort of make sure I don't gets hit, I sort of don't mind losing a position. It's a 20-minute race, so I've got time to gain back half a second if I need to. And we have stayed in 6th, which is not that bad, as we just carry too much speed through our rouge, but I'm going to go wide. I'm not going to spin out trying to stop myself going wide. But the question now is, can I keep up with the cars ahead of us? Can I just stick with them, and can I ditch the car behind me, mainly? Going through these first sections, this BMW was so chaotic in the way it was driving, and he was very slow as well. He was really the bottleneck for the group. I could not make it past him because he was so erratic though. But as you can see, braking so hard, he just could not nail any braking zone. He was just going so hard into everyone, but he was also so erratic in the way that he was driving. It was really challenging to overtake him. I was going to have to wait a bit to see if I could get past. Coming through the final corner, I did go slightly wide, so we are going to get attacked by the Aston Martin behind us, and he will gain this position. Based on what I saw from everyone else, I thought if I brake slightly early, I reckon everyone's going to overbrake themselves, and I was completely right. The Aston Martin just shoots himself off, so we are back just sitting behind the BMW, waiting for an opportunity to get past him without getting just absolutely murdered. But then again, we get quite a bad run through our rouge onto Radeon, and the Aston Martin just manages to get past us again. We will be able to keep our position. A car must have seemingly just imploded, because we have stayed in 6th, even though I believe we were meant to be in 7th. As I think we started in 6th and we've lost a position now, but we move. Let's see what I can do regarding the cars in front of us. I wanted to really ease into this race, feel my pace, get my confidence, as the BMW goes wide and nearly kills the Aston Martin. So yeah, it was very much a confidence race. I was waiting to ease myself in before going too attacking. We get a good run on them both, but we're not quite going to get the ability to make an overtake. But then here's our moment. The BMW goes so wide, and he swings so far over and really nearly kills us, but he thankfully turns out at the right at the right time, I mean. And now it is just the Aston Martin. I know I have the pace for him. I know I can beat him. It's just been mistakes that's let him get past me. So let's see whether we can get past him soon. Whilst we are chasing this Aston Martin, you'll notice the McLaren that was ahead of us has had to go into the pits because he's had an issue. So that is another position gained. 4th place currently as we chase this Aston Martin, as the BMW goes for a massive dive and just sends himself straight to the shadow rail. So that gives us a bit less pressure behind us as well. After a while of sitting just in my own race, we not only get one overtake, but we get two. As you can see on the right, one car in the wall, and then another car here spinning out completely, putting us into 2nd place, 3 seconds off the lead with 9.5 minutes to go. This is such a positive turn of events. The question is, can we keep the cars that are behind us? We have done a pretty good job so far, but can we really make an effort to push for the lead? I guess we'll find out. Now, much later in the race, I'm pushing quite hard, so I'm going to bring you to this moment, just for your knowledge. We're gaining on the car ahead of us, but just for your knowledge, just notice there, track limits violation, and we are 1 away from anything serious. That might come up slightly later on in the race, as we move on to the start-finish straight to go on to our last lap, still in 2nd. We've reeled in the car in 1st load, so we are gunning it, just hoping for a mistake. Gap down to 1.2, 1.3. And this, sadly, is where that moment is going to come back to haunt me. As you can see, really chasing, hoping for a mistake on the final corner from this car ahead of us. We take this corner flat out, and we literally must be about 3mm over track limits, and it gets us a penalty. I initially didn't actually realise, so I haven't gone into the pits because it's a drive-through, so I've just taken the final corner, and we are going to cross the line a second away from 1st in 2nd place, but we have got a penalty that has been added and it is going to drop us back to 6th place in the end, which is a hideous way to end this race because we've raced really well. But I suppose that's what happens. Track limits is an absolute horrible thing. If you've really enjoyed this video, which I've really enjoyed filming, leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.